Now, Dr. K. Vijaya ma'am will take us through the exciting topic Next Gen Communication Techniques Transforming Classroom with Holography. Please join me in welcoming Dr. K. Vijaya ma'am to share her expertise with us. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening, Pravina. Thank you for that introduction. And
Thank you.
I hope being late in the evening, all of you are able to spend some time. And I think I will be able to meet your expectation at least to a certain extent because I'm not very expert in this domain, but thought it is a good topic that could be discussed. Okay. So the topic which I would be discussing about is next gen communication techniques, transforming classrooms with holography. See, I think you all would have gone through the previous sessions where they would have been talking much about the next gen communication techniques. So before we move on to the session, I just thought I would have a quote as we all, or at least most of us are teachers, and I hope that all of us love teaching and teaching children to love learning. So, anywhere or rather learning things or any life skill which is required for us. With that said, let me just move on to uh, just talking about some of the next generation communication technologies that are being explored. One is the cloud based communication, edge computing and multi access edge computing, Li Fi technology, 6G technology, quantum communication, terahertz communication is coming into existence, and satellite internet is another technology which is upcoming. With that said, AI in communication networks is coming into existence. So these are some of the communication technologies in the communication per se, in the field of computing. But what we are going to be discussing is of education. Let us look into the topics with the student. And COVID has made us to move to the next level where digital transformation has taken place to a great extent. The interactive whiteboards that are available to us that could be used, and to an extent, AR, VR also has been started to come to use since for nearly 2 years we had to use the digital technology for education. With that said, we are now expected to look into the next gen communication technology and how we are going to be transforming the education further. And the topic that we are going to be discussing about is regarding the holograms. I've just put an image to give an perception about what a hologram is. Now we will go into what are the learning methods, how we have been using the different methods till now, and then we will move on to discussing about holography to an extent. So when we talk about learning, multisensory learning is happening because we have students in our class who have a common goal of learning whatever topic that is going to be discussed in the class. But not all students would be using the same sensory for doing greater learning. Each student might have, what to say, different senses to be used effectively when compared to the other. And here are some of the sensories that contribute towards learning whatever is being taught. So some students would be more visual oriented, okay, some would be music oriented, some would be word oriented or linguistic oriented. So likewise, we do have different sensory learning category of students, and many a times we might be catering to some of them and the remaining might be left out. So it becomes necessary for us to come up with the communication technology that would help us to cater to the needs of students of different learning, or rather students who use different learning styles. So till now, what are the things that we have been using apart from the physical classroom teaching learning? As I said, COVID, pardon? Sorry. COVID made us move towards virtual classrooms. So in the context of virtual classroom, it is not just one component that is contributing towards making the content delivery using the virtual classroom. It is basically an online teaching and learning environment where you would have different components that would help to content delivery. Now we have something called as 3D learning. So when we talk about 3D learning, so I thought data structures could be one example that could be taken, since I'm computer science oriented person, and I thought majority of you would be able to understand the context. So when we talk about the 3D learning, I hope all of you would be knowing the heap data structure. So when we tell a heap data structure, each student might visualize it in a different manner. So this is one 3D image that is meant for rendering the max heap data structure using 3D concept. So instead of just telling that a max heap would be like this and each one would be assuming it to be in different manner, a 3D learning with such images will help the student to understand it better. Now we are trying to move to a different level even from this, and that is holography. I'm sure many of you would have seen some movies where the science fiction has been used in the movies for showing holography. Star Trek, if you had seen, holography would have been used in that movie or series. And what is holography? It's basically a technique that uses light to create three-dimensional images. So what are the things that it would be using? Three dimensionality. Like in the previous image I showed, we have three-dimensional view of a heap structure. Apart from that, your interference and diffraction concepts of the light is going to be helpful for us to bring it live in front of the persons. And a reconstruction of the image is going to happen, which makes the viewer to consider that the real image is in front of them, whereas the technology works like this. So we are having a laser source. This is our, what to say, uh, object, and this is where it would be rendered. Okay, we would be having the reference beam and the laser beam that is getting reflected from the mirror and falling on the object. So both of these together will ensure that the image is reconstructed and represented in front of us. Fine. how hologram is going to be helpful for education. Basically, this technology is going to help us to transform the learning experience. So, as I said, when we are going to be talking about some concept, each person would have their own imagination about what the concept is. Say, for example, when we talk about networking technology, so we are telling that the data is moving from one system to another with the help of a cable. So this cannot be visualized by the learner. And if at all they are able to visualize by themselves, each one would perceive it in a different manner. Whereas if we are going to use the hologram technology and show it as to how the packets are, or rather how the data is getting transferred from one system to another, then all of them would have the same understanding of how it is being done. And it can make learning more engaging, and it could be interactive and accessible for students and educators in the same manner. Okay, now if we see the concept as per faculty's understanding might be different from that of the students. If we are going to be using holographic concept and deliver the content, then whatever the faculty is having a view about the concept, the same could be viewed and perceived by the students. So if we are going to be embracing this technology, as such, people have started using it here and there, but the technology has not penetrated that much into the education domain. So we can help shape the future of education and better. You're not able to see my screen, is it?
I'm able to see, ma'am, but
Excuse me?
pointer speed first.
You're able to see, no?
Yes,
Pointer, you're not able to see. Yeah,
it's
I
point
think
like hologram technology in education.
I'm not able to get the. You're not able to see the slide with hologram and education, is it?
It's available, ma'am. Heading with one bullet point content is
Okay.
available.
So I've given 3 bullet points. Is it visible or
No, no,
not, ma?
ma'am. Only one bullet point is available, ma'am. Okay, now it came, ma'am.
Now?
Yes,
I
ma'am. Yes,
think there is a lag.
now it
Okay,
came, ma'am.
fine. Um, oh, all of them have come, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, ma. See, once we embrace this technology fully, then the students would be able to understand the concepts in a better manner, and the what to say, they would be able to contribute for the success in this increasingly digital and interconnected world. So here, basically, what we can conclude is, if we are able to bring in the holography technology into the education domain to its fullest concept, then it would be possible for us to have the world as a classroom, which means the professor could be anywhere and students also can be from anywhere and join. But in every classroom, if we are having the holographic display to be done, every student would feel that their faculty is in their room. It won't be like they are from elsewhere. Are you able to see the Y slide?
Yes.
Excuse me.
Ma'am, we able to hear now.
Okay. Let me look at why we are going to go in for. Excuse me. Sorry, ma. I couldn't get you. I don't know if there is too much of lagging or what. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it is going to enhance the visualization of complex concepts because you would be able to look into the minutest details of what is being taught. Say, as of now, this technology has been used in the medical field and not in the other field to the extent it has penetrated into uh, medical course delivery. As I said, interactive and immersiveness will be there with the 3D glasses. You can have the concepts being taught by making you to consider being inside that. And it also facilitates remote education with realistic presence. So, as I said, the world could be considered as one class. And for example, if four universities are collaborating across the globe to have a holographic class being conducted, professor could be present in any one of the institute or even outside of that, and he could be projected in all the classrooms of these four universities, and still the students would have a feeling that the professor is present in their classroom. Say, for example, these are some of the images that I thought would give a little understanding of how, if we are going to be using a holographic technology, the classrooms could be. So here, these are the holographic images that are present. Okay, so here this talks about the computer architecture. Here it talks about the human body, and this image is meant for
Ma'am,
some
images missing, I hope. Only
missionary.
one bullet point is there.
So here it would be possible for us to go into the details of each of the component of the. Pardon me?
Ma'am, we are not able to see the images, ma'am.
Only one bullet point is there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have three images and three bullet points.
Only one bullet point is there, ma'am.
Has it come now? Can you see
No,
the
ma'am.
images now, ma?
No, ma'am.
I don't know why it is lagging so much.
Maybe net connection problem may be there, ma'am. Now it came, ma'am.
For me,
Ma'am, now we are able to see.
and so much of delay. Okay, ma. So the first one on the left-hand side bottom, this is talking about the architecture of a computer. Okay, the middle one talks about how a human body would be, the parts of the human body, and mainly about the heart and other anatomy of human. And the third one on the right hand side top, it would be possible for us to rotate and show each and every component when we are explaining about that. So this is possible when the holographic technology is put into use for the purpose of education. Now, when we talk about the benefits, so I've just highlighted 4 or 5 benefits. The first benefit would be, as I stated earlier, enhanced visualization. The second one is immersive learning and remote learning. Now, the other 2 benefits which I am adding in this slide as such is engagement and retention. See, earlier people used to say the retention period for a person to listen continuously, the retention rate is not even a minute. For very few seconds, the students will be able to listen continuously, and getting themselves engaged in the class is also not happening to that extent. Then it is expected that the engagement and the retention of the students is going to be higher. And personalized learning is also possible if we are going to be using the holographic technology. And what are the key technologies that contribute towards the education taking up the holographic concept? First one is AR VR. Okay. Augmented reality and virtual reality is also part of holography, and we need a holographic display using which we would be able to portray the probably the images on the topics that we are discussing, and also portraying the people who are going to be delivering the lecture from remote. And the other one is AI and 5G. 5G technology is very, very important because if we are globe or even for different places, the rate at which the data is getting transmitted has to be very high, and hence 4G will also not be sufficient. It becomes necessary for us to use the 5G technology and beyond. Now, let us look at some of the use cases where holography has been put into use or where it could be used. Apart from generally telling that you can use it for delivering the content in an immersive and inclusive manner, in medical education, as I stated earlier, in medical education, holography has started coming into use. So in UK, medical students training is happening on a holographic patient, not the real patient. They have holograms being used as patients, and they are being trained on how to treat them. So engineering labs, as any machinery, we can use the hologram to show the components, how you need to be looking into the details of them. Sorry. So as I stated, in remote classrooms, it is possible for us to project the person, whoever is handling the class, to be from one place to the place where the delivery is happening. Actually, Donald J. Potts, he came up with a project called Blue Beam Whale. So what he did is, he created a holograph where the blue veil would be projected towards the students in a school, and they had the feeling of it being in front of them. And HoloLens in medical education has been very useful for people to look into the body parts or organs of the human. So, I mean, I have a couple of video links here, but I'm not very sure whether if I'm going to click, you would be able to view it or not. Maybe once I share the video, I mean, this presentation, I think you all can go through the video, or just let me try if I'm able to open it and show it to you all. I think my net connectivity is very slow. I also have another link where they are talking about how hologram is going to have the future education come up. Ma'am, can I just share it in the?
Yes, ma'am. In the chat box.
Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Link alone was
It's not
visible.
visible to y'all, no?
Link alone visible. Okay, ma'am. Now it's visible, ma'am.
Okay, coming. Yeah? Okay.
Uh,
The HoloLens is absolutely the most amazing piece of technology. Within 5 seconds, I realized that the world had changed. It was an immediate realization that this is something exciting and we have to be a part. Seeing things in 3D is the HoloLens is absolutely could do before with some. The thing that the HoloLens is the ability to work around those 3D objects and experience them.
I still see the thing.
Just place the link.
yes, ma'am. Individually it is working, ma'am. I checked with the link.
Okay. So for y'all, it is coming, no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay. So I don't know
The
which
most
one I
amazing
have
piece of
placed there.
technology. Within 5
had
seconds, I
two
realized that the world had
videos
changed.
which I
It
thought
was
would be
immediate.
Shall I try it, ma'am? Share the. Shall I?
So these two links. The first link will be talking about how human body could be used using the HoloLens, and the second video is about how a student could
புது
be able to
கம்ஃபர்ட்ல
go
இருக்கு
into
10
the
மடங்கு ஃப்ரெஷ்னஸ்
campus
வெறும் ஃப்ரெஷ் இல்ல
using holography technique. So you'd be marking his attendance and other things also using that. I'll just give 5-10 minutes. If you want to have a look at those videos, you can. But For me, it is not possible to show it. Okay.
It's very slow, I think so, ma'am.
It's buffering, I think, because it's a heavy video, no, ma'am.
Yes.
So maybe, I don't know. No, because initially when I was trying to play it, it went on well. It's okay. So basically here, HoloLens is not just a 3D lens. You are going to be using the holography concept as well as use the HoloLens to look into the holography that is getting projected in front of you. So that's the concept which they would have told. And so when we talk about the challenges that we are going to be facing when we start using the holography concept, one is the cost. Basically, the cost of the equipment is going to be heavy. Not just that, for installation and maintenance of the equipment also, we need to be paying a lot. So as of now, it is not cost effective. And due to the digital divide, accessibility might be an issue. See, students in the remote places might not be able to access it to the extent of students in the cities. And there are certain limitations because if we have to use the holographic concept in the education, it becomes necessary for us to have high performing computers and higher internet bandwidth. See, even now, though I'm trying to have some information shared with the current bandwidth, it is not possible for us to have it done without lagging, and sometimes it is not even happening as per our expectation. And not just that, it is also necessary for us to have a bigger physical space if we are going to be using holography.
Ma'am,
Because
slide is not shared, I hope.
it's not sharing, ma?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay, ma'am.
Has it come up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So some of the key challenges that we are facing currently are, as I said, it's the cost of equipment, as well as installation and maintenance cost involved. So it is not cost effective, and so it has not penetrated that much into the educational domain. And accessibility is another issue because of the digital divide. At certain places, we are able to have the digital connectivity better when compared to other places. And apart from that, we do have a lot of limitations. As I said, it is essential for us to have a high performing computer to be involved if we are using the holography concept to deliver the content. And high bandwidth of internet is required. And also, the physical space required for handling the classes using a holographic concept would be higher when compared to the normal classes. So currently, these are some of the limitations. And not just that, we don't have sufficient technical expertise. First of all, the faculty member needs to be trained, okay, and they need to have lot of time and effort being committed towards that. And for training the faculty members, we don't have sufficient number of experts to be present. So that is the lack of expertise is another challenge that we are having as of now. Not just that. See, with the current syllabus system, it might not be possible for us to deliver the content of all the courses using holographic concept. It becomes necessary for us to redesign the syllabus so that holography could be used for content delivery. And it is also not available for us. The content is also not available for us, even for those that could be delivered using holographic concept. So we need to generate the content so that it could be delivered using holographic concepts. And another thing is, there is a possibility that your eyes might get strained a lot when we are going to be moving into the inclusive learning or immersed learning. So, future of holography in education. First of all, we need to have wider accessibility. Only then it would be possible for us to have it get implemented. A lot of global collaboration needs to be happening because universities across the globe should be collaborating with one another to come up with utilizing this technology to the best of its use. And currently, AI integration has not happened with the holography concept. So once AI integration happens, then it would be a little more easy for creating the contents with the help of AI. And a lot of cross-disciplinary learning has to happen if we have to implement the holographic delivery of content. Okay, so I came across certain links that are very interesting. Some of the cases where holography has put into use to a smaller extent in education domain, and a couple of them are not pertaining to the education domain, but they are interesting for learning something. It could be used. With that said, education is not just about information, it's about experience, and hence, holography would bring learning to life. So, with that said, I would like to take up some questions if you have.
Ma'am, can I summarize what you have taken right now?
Sure, ma.
Okay, ma'am.
Should I stop sharing?
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Oh,
And I'll end the session right now after summarizing this.
okay, sure.
Okay. Cloud-based communication, we have seen so far about cloud-based communication, edge computing and multi-access edge computing, and 3D learning, hologram and education and its benefits, augmented reality and virtual reality, most important thing, holographic display and its uses, challenges and future. These are the things we have seen so far. And is there is any queries for participants here? If not, with that, we come to the end of this today's session. And finally, a big thank you to all the participants for your active engagement and enthusiasm. Let us continue this incredible journey of learning and innovations. We resume tomorrow at 6 p.m. Until then, take care and have a great day.